there. Thank you so much for joining in today. I am Shauna from SBell Wellness, and I'm here to talk to you about Wellness Made Easy. So just really an introductory to what essential oils are. I'm going to tell you 3 cool things about them. I'm going to tell you the 3 ways that you can use them. We'll dig into some of the top oils and some of those ways that we really just would use them for everyday well care. And I'll tell you a little bit about my story, and then we'll get into a little bit of some foundational things that can be helpful and supportive as well. So for me, I am the founder of SBell Wellness, and I'm an integrative nutrition health coach and natural solutions educator and product provider with doTERRA. Just a little bit of my story. So I kind of grew up with a lot of different health things going on and didn't really find solutions that worked very well for any of them. I had migraines since I was 5 years old. I had lots of digestive issues. My family used to joke that I was so emotional that my bladder must have been really close to my eyes because I was always crying. Just immune issues. I got sick a lot. I do work with kids in my role as an occupational therapist, and I was just getting sick all of the time. But as I, was an adult and started learning about that, I started to learn that there were some thyroid issues going on that was really kind of maybe at the root of it, or maybe some of these other things were causing those, thyroid havoc too. And so those are all things that I just knew that I needed to really get some solutions that weren't things that people were telling me, it's just what happens when you get older. And, these are normal kind of things that, lots of people deal with these things. And, here's a prescription, which would give side effects and all of those things. And so that just was something that I wanted to feel more empowered to be able to take care of myself in a different way. And so I started digging into an integrative approach. And through all of that, lots of nutrition, lots of supplementation, and doTERRA really showed up in a big way for me. And so that's, my passion in sharing here. And so one of the, foundational things for me was really knowing that I could kind of take control and really find those partners that would support me. And so that's what I always love to encourage people, is that if you are, working with healthcare providers and you feel like maybe you're not getting what you're looking for, then I encourage you to just, reach out to people who may have, someone that they can refer you to, that sort of thing, because it really should be a partnership versus you feeling like you're not getting what you need from that. So that's a little bit of my story. I'd love to share additional things. If there's things that you have going on that are similar to some of the things I mentioned, I could certainly help you dig in on that. But today we'll talk about the 3 cool things about essential oils. So essential oils are 100% natural and safe. They have no side effects, no addictions. So I mentioned that with medication, right? Medication absolutely has its place. But there are many things over the counter and prescription that we really are probably doing more harm to our body than we need to. Statistics are that we can actually support about 80% of our healthcare concerns at home. That's super empowering and super awesome to know that we can do this with natural solutions. So those oils, they're natural, they're safe. You're not going to have to worry about those side effects. They are extracts that are coming right from the plant. Amazing health benefits. The really cool thing about doTERRA is that they are certified pure therapeutic grade. You won't find that anywhere else on the market. And the reason for that is that essential oils are not actually regulated because they're not a food or a drug. And so unfortunately what that means is that there aren't tests that are required. So if you see a bottle of oil on the shelf at the grocery store, it might say 100% pure, but the truth behind that is actually that they only have to have 1% purity in the bottle for it to be pure. I don't know about you, but I'm looking for therapeutic benefit. I'm looking for these things to work, not just be fragrance. And so we want to make sure that we're getting oils that don't have solvents, that don't have, artificial fragrance in there to make them cheaper, bring that price tag down just to say like, hey, I can use these. You're just not going to get what you need from them. And so doTERRA went that extra step of creating the certified pure therapeutic grade so that every oil is tested and make sure that there is nothing synthetic there, nothing that isn't completely pure. And so that pursuit of purity continues to be the mission that doTERRA has. And the way that they do that is that they source them all over the world where the plants grow the best. We need these plants growing where the conditions are optimal so that we can get the most therapeutic benefit from them. And the really cool thing about doTERRA is that they're taking care of the communities where all of these things grow. So, all over the world, some of these places are countries that are not economically sound. And so they are able to go in and partner with these people and allow them to be able to have the income that they need to support their families, build schools, hospitals, all kinds of projects that are really just supporting the people that live there while we are benefiting from being able to source these oils from there as well. So for me, that was a big drive of why I chose doTERRA. The second cool thing about them is how effective they are. So, I mentioned like how we can address probably 80% of things at home. So they can actually be so effective because of the way that they work when they come into our body. And so they are able to cross that blood-brain barrier. And that just means that our body is able to figure out what to do with it really quickly. So you're actually going to get a message to your brain within 22 seconds of using an oil. Within 2 minutes, it has gotten into your bloodstream, and within 20 minutes, it's reached every cell in your body, which is just so amazing because with prescription medication or even over-the-counter medication, our body can figure out what to do with it, but the reason side effects show up is because it's really trying to almost like figure out a mirror image to know what to do with it. And with essential oils, our body works so synergistically with them, so you're going to get that reaction that you need. You're going to want to do them in routine to continue to get that reaction that you need. And I can always help support you with that. But having them so effective is just such a cool thing. And then the third thing is that they actually can be so much more affordable than traditional medical care. If you think about the co-payments you make or the prescription, costs that you have, continuously going to the doctor, right? I mentioned earlier how my immune system and I was just always showing up to the doctor for something. And so those costs really add up, just even driving to the doctor and all of these things that you don't even think like, oh yeah, that really is part of the cost that I have with seeking kind of that sick care versus well care. And so with well care, with these essential oils, you're really only paying pennies per dose because they are so pure that you're just using a little bit. So you end up saving tons of money this way. So those are the three cool things about them. And before I get into talking about individual oils, I wanted to quickly tell you the 3 ways that you'll use them. So diffusing them, you can get an essential oil diffuser. You'll just put water in there and a little bit of your oils, whether you're trying to address something physical going on or you want to help cleanse the air, you want to support respiratory, want to support sleep. I'll talk about all of those kind of things in a moment, but diffusing is a really great way to get that message, like I talked about, to the brain super quick through the olfactory system. And then you can also just actually put it in your hands and, kind of cup over and diffuse personally that way as well. The second way is that you're going to apply them to an affected area. So you're going to want to get localized benefits sometimes, right? Maybe you're dealing with some discomfort somewhere and you'll be able to rub that right on. A really great way to do that is to dilute it. Diluting means that you're going to use a carrier oil, something like a fractionated coconut oil or jojoba oil, almond oil, even an olive oil if you needed to in a pinch. And so diluting it does not take away the effective properties of it. It actually helps it to spread across larger surface area and actually helps to drive it in. So that's where that word carrier oil comes from. It's helping to carry it into the body. And then it helps protect against any sensitivity. So some oils, could have some level of sensitivity to them, especially when we're using them with children or using them with people who know they have sensitive skin or just an elderly population. It's just a really good idea to dilute. And so doing that topically. And then the third way that we can use some doTERRA oils is to enjoy a few drops internally. You can do this in water. I love putting citrus oils in my water. It's a really great way to make sure that you are staying hydrated while actually naturally cleansing your body. I like to put lemon in mine, and wild orange, grapefruit. Those are all great oils to really help cleanse the body and really help us to detox in a natural way. There's so many toxins in our world that we don't even have control over, even if we're trying to, do well with our care. And so this is a way to help our body be able to naturally flush those things out. You can also take them in a veggie cap. And so I had mentioned how, some things that I had supported for my thyroid and those kind of things, I take them internally in a veggie capsule. It's just a vegetable glycerin capsule like a vitamin would be. Pop that open and can put them in. So there's, so many different oils that you can do that. Depending on what area of care you're looking for. The one thing that's super helpful to remember, in case you are wondering like, hey, can I take this certain oil internally, is that every bottle that you can take internally is going to have supplemental facts right on it. So it's going to look like a vitamin label, and it's going to give you some recommendations for taking that internally. So you will see that right on the bottle for any that you can safely take internally. And then if it was an oil that you couldn't take internally, for instance, like the Deep Blue, there's just going to be ingredients on there. And so you'll see that it won't have the supplemental facts, and so then you won't want to take that internally. And it just really has to do with the type of plant that's in there. We want to make sure the body's able to process that well. So those are 3 cool things and 3 ways to use the oils. And so let's dig in a little bit about, like, what do we need? What do we deal with? What kind of things could we be really tapping into natural solutions for? So first up, let's talk about peppermint. So peppermint is so energizing. I actually have it in my diffuser here in the room. It really helps to just get the day going. It can really help to promote clear breathing. Actually, a really great oil in the summertime to help cool down the body. It's an awesome one for relieving head tension. You can take that and use it in a couple different ways. So if you wanted to use it for head tension, you could actually take a drop of the peppermint oil, just put it right on your thumb and push your thumb to the roof of your mouth. You're going to get fresh breath, and then you're going to help cool the body and really help to relieve that head tension. Another really cool way to use that would be in a touch roller. So doTERRA has these that are already pre-diluted for you. You can roll them on your temples, in the back of your neck, even like the bridge of your nose. You do want to be careful to make sure that you are staying away from the eyes, as that's naturally a sensitive area. In the event you ever got an essential oil in your eye, just dilute it with a little bit of oil. It's going to help neutralize it. You'll want to avoid putting water on it because that will actually intensify it. So just a little bit of your coconut oil or your almond oil, whatever you have to help just neutralize it. But yeah, if you just kind of stay away from that, you're going to get the relief that you need. And then next up, I talked about immune support, and I can't talk about this oil enough. So On Guard is so supportive for promoting that healthy immune function. It's our protective blend. It's really allowing the body to go on defense. We've got this immune system. It really is designed to be on defense. There are lots of things in the environment. I talked about toxins, inflammation that happens from, food that we put into our bodies, not getting enough movement. So many things that can really impact our immune system. And so if we can add in some natural solutions to help the body naturally build that immune defense. And so I love to use On Guard in a roller blend that I put on the bottoms of my feet every day. And that is just a proactive way to make sure that I am taking care of my immune system. And I talked about earlier how I used to get sick all the time, right? So let's just say that that's been a really good support for that. You can also use it to soothe a sore throat. So you could gargle with it, you could put it on topically. It's actually an amazing one to use in hand soap. We make hand soaps in our house, so super easy to do, and super affordable too. It's like way cheaper than getting soap at the store. So I'd love to provide you a recipe for that if that's something that you are interested in. But On Guard, again, we want to make sure we're cleansing those hands and really making sure that we are on defense. And that is such a simple way to do it. And so definitely want to use On Guard for cleansing. You can make hand mists as well, so that if you're on the go and you need to clean up throughout the day, you can use that in that way too. All right, next up is lavender. So if you've ever had an essential oil experience, whether it was doTERRA or something else, you've probably smelled lavender. I will say that when I had an experience with doTERRA lavender, I realized that I had really not had an experience with lavender until then, because the purity of it is just amazing. doTERRA gets the lavender from Bulgaria. It's where it absolutely has optimal growing conditions, and you can totally tell the purity of it. So what are you going to use lavender for? Well, I wonder if you have trouble sleeping, if you have kiddos that have trouble calming down in the evening, maybe you have been outside and you didn't have, bug repellent with you and you've gotten some bites. So those are ways that you can use lavender. You can diffuse it to really help calm anytime during the day, but especially at night. You can put it right on the skin to really kind of calm any of those irritations, like I had mentioned, the bite. And it's actually a really amazing oil for kind of seasonal threats that go on. So it has some natural antihistamine properties, which really helps to calm the body when you're dealing with those seasonal things that are in the air. So that's lavender. Wild orange is up next. I mentioned earlier how I love wild orange in my water. It's very invigorating. It helps to uplift the mood. Combining it with peppermint and wild orange, or combining the wild orange with peppermint together in the diffuser in the afternoon is a really awesome just boost. You know, a lot of us deal with that kind of afternoon slump. You want to keep going forward with your day. That's a really good one to use for that. It's actually really cleansing too. And so you could add a drop to your toothpaste and it actually will enhance the whitening of that as well. So just a little extra tip on wild orange. I talked about deep blue earlier when I was talking about the labels, but let's dig in a little bit. So let's say you are dealing with some knee pain or some back pain, even the head tension that I had mentioned earlier. This oil is going to be your go-to for soothing those achy muscles and joints. And so you're going to want to dilute it just because it does have those invigorating oils in there. And then you're going to want to really get them into the body. And so, you know, using it with some fractionated coconut oil is going to allow you to drive it in and really get the soothing that you need. And so, you know, using this one, you know, before and after you've been exercising, you know, just hiking or out in the yard, gardening, all of those kind of things that we do this time of year, really want to have that one around. Let's see, lemon. So I had lemon up when I was talking about the label on the bottle, and I talked about how I like to put it in my water and how cleansing it is for the body. It's also so cleansing for the home. So you can whip up your own natural cleansers, you know, all-purpose sprays, those kind of things that you're going to be able to swap out some products that you might have been getting that, again, because those kind of things are not regulated, there's a lot of chemicals that can be in those products that actually don't have to be on the label, which is incredibly scary if you sit there and think about, like, I don't even know, you know, the response I'm having to this. If you have pets in the house or you have kids in the house, you don't want these things to be on your surfaces that, you know, let's just face it, like kids lick windows, right? All those kind of funny things that their mouth is just on everything. And so we want to make sure that we're cleansing with something that's going to be safe, and you don't have to worry about it. You know, I saw somewhere where someone said the other day, like, my gosh, as a, you know, a new parent, I was always worried about like having poison control, like on call and those kind of things. And she's like, I feel so empowered that I don't have to feel like that anymore by using natural solutions. So really tapping into that for cleaning is a really great thing to do. I love using it in my bathroom cleaners. So, you know, I just whip up a little bit of a toilet bowl cleaner with some baking soda, Castile soap, and lemon. That's it. Again, talking about affordability, really cutting back on cost of cleaning products. Breathe is up next, you guys. So Breathe oil is our respiratory blend. It's so amazing to really support our lungs, our sinuses. It can be very good to use during the day if you know that, you know, something in the air is bugging you. And then I love using it at night. It's a really great one to diffuse in the bedroom, to really just keep those airways open. Our airways can struggle sometimes while we're sleeping, just being in that reclined or that position where we're laying down. So you really could benefit from using Breathe if you notice those kind of things going on for you. Next up is Digest Zen. So Digest Zen is our digestive blend. It's going to really help relieve just any of those stomach things going on. So upset stomach, motion sickness, nausea, bloating. And you can use this topically. You can actually put some, you know, dilute it a little bit and just put it right on your abdomen, rub it in. You can actually take it in a capsule, like I mentioned earlier. It does have a little bit of that licorice flavor to it based on having, you know, tarragon and caraway seed and fennel in there. So those just kind of give it a little bit of that taste. So if that's not something that you prefer the taste or aromatic of, take it internally so that you can still get the benefit of it to really help support you. It's great to take at mealtime to really help with improved digestion, especially even if you're eating well and you just maybe are eating a big meal or just need some help breaking it down. As our body gets older, we do need help breaking it down. So that's a good way to be able to do that. And then lastly, on the top oils here, we'll talk about frankincense. So frankincense really actually helps to promote calm feelings. It can be amazing for the skin. We're all looking for those things that can help support our skin as we age. And so it can be really awesome. I love putting it under my eyes to really help with any of that, you know, dark areas, fine lines, those kind of things. Frankincense is a powerhouse for cellular level support. So, you know, when I was talking earlier about some of those things I was dealing with, a lot of the inflammation and those kind of things are what have happened over time. And our body really needs support in being able to restore from that. And so frankincense is a great way to be able to help our body kind of restore the process that we're looking for well care. All right, so those were the top oils. And now I just want to talk about one of the products that have been so foundational in my health, and that is our Lifelong Vitality vitamins. And so they really are just foundational for every health goal. And if you've ever tried vitamins before, maybe you've gotten some in the market that you're just like, I don't know if they're really doing what I thought they would do. And the reason for that is actually that the majority of vitamins are not from a whole food source, which means that your body really is going to struggle to figure out what to do with it. And it's actually going to end up just, you know, kind of extracting it with waste versus really absorbing it and helping the body. So again, doTERRA, just going after it and making sure that we are getting the best quality. These vitamins are coming from a whole food source. They're really going to help you maximize your nutrition. And we need that. We need that maximized nutrition for energy, for focus, for well-being. You know, me, before I took these, I dealt with brain fog so much, energy crashes, sleep issues, skin issues, hair issues, nail issues, oh my gosh, joint pain, all of these things. There's just so many things that I now know just really focusing in on this foundation has supported so much. So they're really going to help you get that healthy inflammatory reaction that you need. They're really going to go to bat for really making sure that immune system is on defense. And there are 3 different products in the Lifelong Vitality. So you're going to get your multivitamin, and then you're going to get your omegas. Omegas are so important for brain health, but they're actually really important for healthy inflammatory. So even when we're doing a lot of things to help restore some things going on in our body, in order to get that old out, it has to kind of go through our blood system, and that inflammation can sit there. And so that's where you might be seeing a struggle to get past some of the things that you were hoping to kind of find wellness with. So these omegas are really going to help to flush that inflammation out. And then the third one is your alpha CRS. And that's going to be your cellular level vitality. That's going to be what I talked about in a similar way when I talked about frankincense and how it's really going to bat and really making sure that our cells are growing in a healthy way and that our immune system is staying up to par. So those, I can't say enough about Lifelong Vitality and how that was able to really get to the root of a lot of things for me and my health and be able to empower. Like I said, I was on a mission to be empowered, and this is one of those products that has really done that for me. So didn't want to leave that off in talking about this introduction of Wellness Made Easy. Real quick, I wanted to just let you know how to get this into your life. So if this is something that you don't already have into your life, there are a few ways that you can purchase. So retail is available. I will tell you, it's the most expensive way. And I'd only pay retail if you were like in a professional setting and you were, reselling that to your clients or that sort of thing. It's not something that's going to be a cost savings for you as a consumer. So the best way to do that would be wholesale. You'll get these products similar in a way that you might like have a Costco membership. So, you're going to pay $35 for a membership fee, and then you're going to get 25% below that retail for 12 months. And then you'll have a renewal of $25, and doTERRA will send you a free peppermint. So it's kind of a wash at that point. Like once you have gotten your membership and you start using your products, it's just going to continue to benefit you at that 25% below retail. And then there's a third way to get them, and that's below wholesale. And so you're going to get a deeper savings by getting started with a starter bundle. And so that's going to actually waive the membership fee. And that's just really going to help you get started with I kind of went through one of those starter bundles with these oils. And so it's going to give you options to address your top goals. And then there is a little loyalty rewards program that we have. So you start using your oils, you're loving them, and you realize like, oh yeah, I'm going to be using these more. I want to look at products that I can swap out, toothpaste and hair products, and like I said, the cleaners, all those things that we can just swap out. And so you're just going to redistribute, what you're using your budget for and what you're shopping by digging into the loyalty rewards program. And so lastly, there are 3 types of people who I support in this business. And so there are, those customers who really just love living the wellness lifestyle. They love learning about it, for them and their family. And so it's so great to have those customers continuing to support them. And then I also have these customers who love to share. So maybe you're that person who you go to a new restaurant, you see a movie, you have a dog groomer you love, all these things that we just end up talking about and sharing with people. You can do that with your products. You're going to love your products. You're going to see how much they help your family. You're going to see the cost savings that you have by doing some swaps, and you're going to talk about it just naturally with the people who are in your life. And so, there's a benefit to that. You can share with people and to really help, get some benefit back to you in the way of commission so that you can help, get your oils paid for. And then I have those customers who are builders. And so what that means is that loving the product, sharing the product, and then realizing like, wow, there's some income here, can really make an impact by sharing, but then I can also really bless my family with financial freedom as well as time freedom. And so I'd love to talk to you, whatever it is that you feel like, where you fit in being able to get started with your oil journey. And so if you have questions, please jump on to sbellwellness.com. All my contact information is there, so I can help you get started. I love to sample people. I think that's the most important way to get an experience in your hands so that you can see this natural impact that they're going to have on your life and your ability to stay well. So thank you so much for tuning in, and don't hesitate to reach out with whatever that you need. I can't wait to support you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.